The next habit that I want to talk about is focus on character rather than income. Over the last 5 years, I've always thought, who do I need to become in order to make the sort of money that I want to make? Not what tactic or trick or this or that do I need to implement to help my business grow, because that stuff all comes naturally. Like, that stuff will come to you when you focus on the character. And let me give you an example right here of how I definitely shot myself in the foot. Over the last 5 years, and I think this has a lot to do with obviously my age, making a lot of money very early on, especially after you drop out of high school, especially after like what I went through in high school, especially with the amount of people berating me, like making fun. Like, high school was not exactly, middle school and high school was definitely not a fun place for me to be. So between that and dropping out of my high school, for sure, I had a chip on my shoulder. And once again, this is where the meditation ties in. I think if I had less of an ego over the past 5 years, and I think really it's only been like probably the last year, maybe a year and a half, where I've really dialed in my ego, and I've really been able to make good long-term choices and really remove my ego from a lot of decisions I'm making. And I know some people might look at my YouTube or Instagram and be like, oh, you're very egotistical, you share this and that. And guys, that's me sharing. I also shared when I was 15 years old and broke, and going to the gym and filming me in the gym and talking about my workout routine, and then meditation, and in 2016 my goal to make 15,000 pounds that year, and how I was so far off, but I was visualizing, and like, go back to 2016, you can watch my videos. Like, that was me authentically sharing. And then I feel as though probably between like 2017 to like early 2020, a lot of that was just, yes, sharing, but a lot of it was ego based as well. And the thing is, when you make decisions based on ego, and honestly, I think that held me back for so long until probably the last year and a half ago. And the reason I say this is because I want to make it clear that you might have, like, you may think that to get from where you are to the next point in your business, you have to do, there's some trick or tactic or this or that, or strategy that you need to implement in your business. A lot of times it's a character trait that you need to develop. And I know, for example, for me to go from 10 million to 25 million to my name after tax, and that's my next target, to do that by 25. I know some things that are really important for me is punctuality. I'm a person who's notoriously late. Takes weeks and weeks to respond, unless it's Slack and it's my team or my clients. And I know for me to go to where I am right now, to where I need to get to, I'm really gonna have to work on my punctuality, because at the end of the day, yes, I'm busy, I'm extremely busy, but that's no excuse. When you're not punctual, you're breaking a promise to yourself as well as the other person that you're holding up. When you're not punctual, at the end of the day, you're breaking a promise to yourself. Another thing that I'm gonna have to work on, and I've talked about this slightly already, is humility. As much as, especially I feel over the last year, I've done a lot of work on that, there's still a hell of a lot of a way to go. And I know, as I said, that comes with age as well. And the last thing is gratitude. I feel as though that's something that I've really lost over the last 2-3 years. Sometimes things can feel so stale. I become so numb to certain things. But gratitude, if I want to get to that next point in my life, that's something I'm going to need to work on. So ladies and gentlemen, you might be watching me right now and going, this person's a few steps ahead of where I am right now. But you can see, even in my position, I'm already looking at the next goal and not thinking, what tactical, what tactic or strategy or this or that do I need to, because that's going to come naturally, right? That's, I usually find, is the easy bit. When you work on your character and you work on yourself, that's 80% of the equation, because then you're in a good place. And I find that the stars just naturally align and things come to you and you're ready for it. So always focus on who you need to become in order to reach your goals, not on what tactic or trick to use.